Then on the flop, our first consideration is whether we donk out this hand or not. And given that we just concluded that his min-raising range is a little bit stronger, and if we think about like a strong min-raise range, it actually connects quite well with this board. So our opponent's going to have a range advantage on his board. So theoretically, we won't want to have that much of a donking range. But in practice, against a fish, I think it actually would make sense to donk out a hand like Jack 9 or Jack 8 here. Because if we think about how he plays his range, it's that he's going to be betting a lot of hands that are willing to stack off on his flop. But he's going to be checking a lot of hands like Ace Queen or Ace King or 10-8, King 8. I think he's going to be checking a lot of hands that we could get value from if we let out with our Jack 9 or Jack 8. And he's not going to be c-betting a balanced bluff range.
So next board, 6-7-2 at 25 BB limped. Now this board's a little bit different. There's no completed straights here, but there's one thing that you should realize here, and that's that the nutted hands on this board are 7-2, 2-6, 7-6, and two of those, 7-2 and 2-6, are not in the in-position pre-flop range. So that changes the overall strategy on this board. Because if you compare this to, for example, 9-8-3, although it looks very similar, it's going to play quite different because of that factor. So that's why there's a 16% donking range on this board, and the overall c-bet percentage is not too high. That said, it still plays top pairs a lot more aggressive than on the previous board. So here it's actually betting most top pairs. That's because top pair is it's a lot stronger on this board than on the other one. It's also quite vulnerable, so it's a hand that we want to bet for value and protection.
So with 4-6 here, we stab the flop and we turn a gut shot. And that could be a reasonable bluff here. But I don't think it's our best bluff or a really obvious one. Because if we bet here and we get raised or jammed, like he definitely has 9x in his range. His range is like 5x, 9x, and a bunch of floats. So the floats are going to fold probably. 5x or 9x probably going to jam on us. And that makes us have to fold a hand that potentially has 4 outs against a 9. So if we check behind and take a free card here, and he does have a 9 and we do hit, that's extremely good for us. But we also have pair outs that are still live. Like if we have a 4 or 6, we also have a reasonable chance of winning this hand. So betting and then having to fold this hand is bad for us, even though we have equity to go with our bet. So I think betting a hand like Jack 8 here would actually be a better bluff, because that hand also has equity to go with its bet. Like it has 2 live cards against all 5x and floats. But if it gets jammed on, it doesn't have to fold its equity.